today's recipe, I'm going to take a pan and add 2 tablespoons of oil. After adding the oil, I'm going to add 2 cloves, 3 green cardamoms, 1/4 teaspoon of coriander seeds, 2 green chillies, 5 chopped garlic cloves, and about half an inch of chopped ginger. After adding all of these ingredients and frying it for about 45 seconds, I'm now going to add 2 medium-sized sliced onions. I'm now going to fry these onions until the onions turn golden brown and become nice and soft. It's been about 4 minutes now, and as you can see here, the onions have started to turn soft. At this point of time, I'm now going to add 10 cashew nuts. After adding the cashew nuts, I'm then going to fry this for another 1 minute. After frying it for another minute, here I'm going to add a tomato puree of 2 tomatoes. Here you can alternatively use 2 sliced tomatoes since you're anyway going to be grinding it later on. After adding tomato puree, I'm now going to mix this with the onions and let it cook for another 3 minutes. After letting the tomato puree cook with the onions for about 3 minutes, you can now switch off the flame and let this cool down before adding it to the grinder jar. After grinding that into a paste, I'm then going to take the very same pan and add 1.5 tablespoons of oil to it. After adding the oil, I'm going to add 1 bay leaf and half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. I'm now going to let this cook for about 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'm then going to add the paste of the onion and tomato to it. After adding all of the onions and tomato paste, I'm then going to fry this for about 2 minutes. After frying it for 2 minutes, I'm then going to add 1 teaspoon of red chilli powder, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and half a teaspoon of garam masala powder. I'm now going to mix all of these spices really well with the onion and tomato paste. After mixing all of these spices well, I'm now going to cook this for another 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'm now going to add the green peas to it. Here I'm adding frozen green peas of half a cup. After adding all of these green peas, I'm now going to mix it really well with the spices. After mixing the green peas well with the spices, to this I'm now going to add 1.5 cup of water. After adding the water, I'm now going to mix this really well with the rest of the spices and cover it with a lid and let it cook for 5 minutes on low-medium flame. After 5 minutes, you would have noticed that the gravy would have started to boil and would become slightly thick. At this point of time, you can now add the blocks of paneer to it. Here I'm adding 200 grams of paneer. You can then gently mix the blocks of paneer with the rest of the gravy and cover it with a lid and let it cook for another 4 minutes. And before covering with the lid, here you can add the salt as per taste. After adding the salt, I'm now going to mix this once and then cover this with a lid. After 4 minutes, you can now remove the lid and add half a tablespoon of butter to it. Adding the butter, I'm now going to mix this with the gravy and cover it with the lid and let it cook for another 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you can now remove the lid, and lastly, you can add the coriander leaves to garnish it. After adding the coriander leaves, you can now switch off the flame and your dish is ready to be served. So if you did like this recipe, I'd request you to please click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.